The US state of Kentucky is famous for a host of industries, including horse racing, baseball bats and bourbon. But it is also increasingly becoming a hub for foreign investment. Last year, the US state attracted almost $2.5 billion in new or expanding foreign investment. Chinese investment has also been noticeable in recent years. A Chinese consortium took over printing and software company Lexmark in 2016. And even though the Trump administration is attempting to squeeze China on trade by threatening to impose tariffs, some US states, including Kentucky, are keen to emphasize that they remain open for business.
We're clearly communicating the potential impact of any trade action to the state of Kentucky. It's in everyone's best interest that there's open and free trade. And that's of particular importance to the state of Kentucky because, as I mentioned, we have such a dominant position in aerospace and the auto industry in particular. And we have maybe counseled or cautioned our friends overseas to maybe not spend too much time getting wrapped up in the drama of everything.
Chinese investment in Kentucky supports more than 8,000 jobs. Berkeley was one of the first Chinese companies to invest in the state. The company is a clean coal technology provider that produces a range of coal mining equipment. Chao Zhao heads the Kentucky operation. He believes the recent tariff discussion could put off potential foreign investors.
I think, and some of the investors and now they may just wait and see. Let's see what happens, because there's a lot of issues that's too big and for investors to control. But I think people now are cautious. We are watching on that. If we do not get along well, and that's going to have a adverse impact, on the whole world.
That view is echoed by Chris Bollinger of the University of Kentucky's Gatton College of Business and Economics.
When you start putting tariffs and you start having a trade war, it's going to shut down trade, and part of why a Chinese firm might want to invest in the United States is trade. And so I think on that, the overall impact is going to be a reduction in investment in the United States, not an increase.
As for the future, Kentucky officials are confident of attracting further Chinese investment. And there is the potential further down the line that Kentucky will open an office in China to further promote the state.
We have seen a direct correlation between opening an office and economic development. We understand the need to have representation in country. The next step for us will be to make a trip to China the latter part of this year to begin to understand what is the strategy.
The trade conflict between the US and China remains a concern for many companies here. But despite the direction from the Trump administration, those in Kentucky suggest it remains business as usual. Dan Williams, CGTN, Frankfort, Kentucky.